to prevent the brokers leaving, which, by the way, my 4th year in the business, I left the national firm and went to a local firm, which was dominant in that product type because I was recognized more. I was given an opportunity to dig my hands into operations. There weren't a lot of leads, but there were some sizable ones. And I was brought in on every meeting. It checked all the boxes for recognition as well as economic opportunity. That's the first answer. How are you right now making everybody feel recognized and appreciated with compensation? I just jot that down as a note. So the next piece I dropped in the chat box here is I've noticed that firms that have a path to partnership all the way from intern to associate advisor, senior advisor, VP, above that might be a 2-stage partnership model, similar to how attorney firms work, where there's a profit share that's available with certain soft and hard measurement categories or KPIs. And then by invitation only, there's a voting rights, voice around the conference room table partner. So when people see that, they understand it's clearly communicated that the firm has designed a ladder that they can climb and stay. And there's recognition that comes with each title advancement. There's probably a split enhancement that comes with each title advancement and stage. So if you can map that out, then I think that you end up keeping your all-stars that really fit your company culture, and you mitigate the risk of them leaving the 2nd or 3rd year, which is a departure of a lot of time and effort. So I think those are the first 2 things I'd start thinking about. In terms of bringing them on right now, I'll be completely out of left field. Have you considered a W-2 versus a 1099 format for the person? My question isn't about the amount, it's about the structure. And I bring that up if you run those on a strategy board or whiteboard and talk about it out loud, one color versus the other. If somebody is a 1099 independent contractor, you've got to check your state standards, but in most scenarios, you really can't dictate to that person working hours, working location. Here's the detail of how we want you to spend your day. And then you're subject to, very few human beings are good at being productive and utilizing time in a very efficient manner. Now, if you find the right person who has those categorical elements, wow, goldmine. In the event that you don't know yet. Now, I think there's a lot of arrows pointing in that direction with somebody who's a collegiate athlete, somebody who academically performs well, and who has said, hey, honor and integrity are important. I want to work with you, and I like you guys, and you guys like me too. So I think you got a lot of things pointing in the right direction, but you might consider the upsides and downsides of having a 1099 structure for someone versus if maybe for the first year, there's a W-2 structure that you side by side lay out. Then you can say, here's the job description, here's the role and the very specific responsibility, X amount of time on the phone, X amount of calls. I want you to underwrite a property every week. You have your list. And then they clearly see, okay, this is what I need to do. And you get them in the right habitual patterns so they do the correct behaviors ritually. And you get a lot of structure built around that person, and then that can change. It doesn't have to be a year. I'm just nominating that arbitrarily. When the time is right, then they have the option to switch from that W-2 function over to a commission-only scenario if they've put enough money in the bank and they're good to do that, or maybe that hybrid scenario. And if you move people up with that scenario and then out to commission-only, then each year you might strategically have 1, maybe 2 people in that role, and you're not keeping everybody in some kind of salary scenario. So you treat it like training wheels.